Hi, I'm Russell. America Chat is in here with another episode of Dark Theory USA. I'm with you guys. We're going to talk about that if we really are going at war with Iran or not, and everything is going on over there. Diego Garcia's island, when B2 stealth bomber are going there. We have already 5 of them. And then we're going to see if it is just something as a sign, as a message, or really we're going to do something, we are cooking something over there. And of course, the response that the Supreme Leader of Iran, Khamenei, had, and also IRGC leader, the general, what his take was on if what's going to be the consequence if Iran or Israel, if America or Israel attack Iran. We're going to go through all of them, and of course we're going to see what's the end point, what's the goal over there, and if people in America are happy, what about people in Iran, and all of them. And so I'm going to go through all of them, but before everything, I think that's a good thing. I saw a video clip, video from the one channel, explain the situation and with a couple of information. So then I will when it lays it out, then I would explain to them. I will explain to you all of them individually to see what's up. So first, let's go and see what we have over there.
Are the US and Iran ready for war? That's our top focus tonight on Gravitas. At the moment, things seem to be heading in the direction of a far more dangerous war in West Asia, one between America and Iran. You see, so far, they have fought via allies, but today those tensions have edged closer to the point of no return. After US President Donald Trump's explosive remarks when he vowed bombing if Tehran refuses to accept a new nuclear deal, Iran has reportedly called for preemptive strike on a remote US military base in the Indian Ocean. The Diego Garcia military base, you heard that right. According to the British daily The Telegraph, Iranian military commanders are facing calls for preemptive strike on the Chagos Island base before US President Donald Trump uses it to attack the Islamic Republic. What's the trigger, you ask? America's deployment of B-2 Spirit jets there, aptly called ghosts in the sky. The B-2 bombers basically are capable of slipping past even the most advanced air defenses. And according to the latest satellite imagery, at least 3 B-2 Spirit jets arrived at the strategic outpost last week. Remember, the Diego Garcia base serves as a key launchpad for US UK operations, especially in West Asia. The Telegraph cites pro-Iranian voices saying that the island should have been targeted long before America deployed bombers there. As per the British daily, the base supports B-1 Lancer, B-2 Spirit, the B-52 Stratofortress bombers. Additionally, these 4,000 military personnel and contractors, the majority of whom are American, are also reportedly housed at the base there. According to Iranian state media, the B-2 Spirit bomber would likely use Diego Garcia as a launching point for any potential attack on Iran's vast underground facilities. Remember, that's where Iran stores all its advanced missiles and rockets, in highly fortified underground facilities. Take a look. But you see, experts say that unlike other conventional weapons, the American B-2 bombers are capable of striking underground compounds. In fact, that is B-2 Spirit jet's unique feature. So in case a war with Iran does break out, America could potentially use the B-2 bombers to target Iran's underground missile cities. And with these now stationed in Diego Garcia, Iran sees a direct threat. Because that's not all. Satellite images also show at least 3 C-17 cargo planes and 10 aerial refueling tankers at the Diego Garcia base. And they seem to have arrived here recently. And we told you last week about the latest deployments. And then there's also the matter of the base itself. The highly strategic base has been used as a staging point for US strikes in West Asia on multiple occasions in the past. Iran is provoked, but Tehran is also not buckling under American pressure. An advisor to Iran's supreme leader has issued Iran's most alarming threat yet. If attacked, Iran will have no choice but to develop nuclear weapons. And these comments also come after Khamenei himself promised to hit back if Donald Trump carried out his threat to bomb Iran, if it did not make a deal to curb its nuclear program.
I mean, guys, I'm going to explain all of them, but I think it's better to finish that once and then I go one after the other one, explain them into detail for you guys.
The enmity from the US and Israel has always been there. They threaten to attack us, which we don't think is very probable, but if they commit any mischief, they will surely receive a strong reciprocal blow.
And Iran also sends its message to the UN Security Council in a letter by its UN ambassador. Tehran has condemned what it described as warmongering provocations by America. And adding to the volatility, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, also making its position clear. Brigadier General Amir Ali Hajizadeh has warned that the US is has warned that the US is sitting in a glass house. The Iranian general, in fact, has warned that American forces are dangerously exposed, saying that 10 American bases and 50,000 American troops in the region are within Iran's reach. Meanwhile, Ali Larijani, a top Iranian politician, has raised a rather important issue. Threats aside, could Iran actually build a nuclear weapon under a nuclear fatwa? Larijani says Iran could rethink it if the United States or Israel attacks Iran. And as far as Tehran is concerned, the ball really is in America's court. So suffice to say, tensions between Iran and the US are at an all-time high, and they have escalated since Trump has returned to the White House. Since taking office in January, Trump has reinstated what has been described as a maximum pressure policy. During his first term, that meant US withdrawing from the landmark agreement on Iran's nuclear program and reimposing sanctions on Tehran. In his second term, it is edging towards an all-out war, it seems. How close is war? It's hard to say, but things have definitely moved beyond just verbal threats. But could a war actually break out? Would Iran actually strike first? If so, what would an Iranian preemptive strike look like? Is Donald Trump serious about bombing Iran? Or is this yet another calculated move on his part to force Iran into negotiations? We will have to wait and watch. To stay up to speed with the latest news.
All right. Okay, guys. There are a lot to unpack in here. So let me explain about the situation, exactly what is going on. Let me go one by one. First, talk about the America. For example, like 78 million people, including myself, we voted for President Trump because entire his campaign was about like, hey, we're gonna have the peace, strength, the strength of the dollar gonna go up, our currency gonna be boosted up, and the economy gonna be better market, better everything, cheaper gas, cheaper eggs. We have seen none of them. More than 60 days has passed, none of them has happened. And of course you say, well, what do you expect? It has been only 8 weeks, 10 weeks. So, I mean, come on, give him more time. But the problem is, we are not going even to that direction. So sometimes you see like, oh, we are doing something good, but just it takes time. But that's not the case right now. Right. For example, like what is happening right now. So for example, economy, the market's gonna react to what is happening. Those tariffs that President Trump is playing around is the result you can see on the market, and market is just crashing. And of course, like, how long can we go? And then the biggest problem is President Trump is playing too much over this card. Either we have to go full war and accept that 2 months we're gonna get the heat from whoever is criticizing us, and in the end Canada would fold and we could get the Canada, right, as our 51st state. But the problem is when you keep playing and stopping, because he keeps putting tariff and then pause it, again tariff, again pause it, 1 month on, 1 month off, and eventually Canada gets immune about that, just like Russia did. Russia, we kept playing with the sanction, and now the dependency of Russia to US dollar has been decreased to 37% from 60-70%, right? So you keep doing that, they get immune, just like what Iran did. So they find alternative rather than to the dollar. Actually, sometimes you need them to use dollar so you can have them under your watch, under your control. But the moment that they stop using the dollar is the moment that you basically they're going to be offline. You cannot watch them, and especially for the Canada, if you really want it to be 51st state, so we have to be sharp. Like I am Jacksonian Republican, I believe in Jacksonian ideology. We have to be isolationist, and if we are attacking, it should be sharp, fast, quick, effective, and then get back. Not Hamiltonian. We don't have time to F around, to chill in other places. We don't have any business outside. Only if our security is under threat, or if something big is going on over there. But other than that, we have to just focus on our border. But right now what we are seeing, and also the priority is not democracy in the Jacksonian, it's about like get things done fast, because if it is something is slowing you down, put it temporarily aside, get it done and come back and focus on your national issue, national security. And what is going on right now, like with the Canada, we keep playing game with them, and eventually they're gonna find out, okay, this is coming. And like 2 months ago they thought it is a joke, now they realize it is serious, so they are finding alternative to our economy, why they are dependent on us for 33%. So they find the alternative, they find another economy. So later the tariff is not going to work that much. So right now they are dependent on us so much. So if you're going to play that card, it is the time. Either go at full war with Canada and use the tariff, make them bend, make them fold, done, get it. But you keep pause on that, so economy could market doesn't crash completely, and again next week again you bring it back. First of all, everyone gonna lose their trust on the market because it keeps going down every time you do. So one time, do it once for all, and then when Canada ban that, of course economy gonna boost up because now we have all the assets and resources of Canada as well. But forget about the Canada, right now what is going on, this is what we voted, probably all of us, I'm not saying everyone is Jacksonian, but we voted for Trump because we wanted a peace, prosperity, and also focus on the issues at home. And after 8 weeks, what we saw in Diego Garcia's base, close to Iran, not very close, but still over there in the Middle East, now we have 7th B-2 stealth bomber. So it doesn't seem like exactly we're going to be isolationist. It seems like we are doing something. But here's the catch. It doesn't mean just because we landed a couple of B-2 bombers over there, Ghost Jet into Garcia base, it doesn't mean necessarily we're going to go at war. For example, if Trump really wanted to attack Iran, wouldn't let them know that they are doing that. The reason that you are seeing on Google, you really think that Trump put those planes, those jets, those fighter jets into Garcia and doesn't say to Google, hey, don't show those pictures? Right now you can see actually updated. Every day that if you go to the Garcia and you take the, it takes a picture, live picture, you can see how many jets they have over there. Do you think if really they wanted to attack Iran, they would let anybody, not only Iranian officials, but anybody in the world go into the Google map and then take a picture of how many jets they have? This is the last thing you let not only enemy, but the world knows that. So it's something it's secretive. If we really wanted to do that, we wouldn't let it go out into the public, into the Google map. Anybody sees that, how many planes we have there. That was definitely because he wanted to send a message. If that wasn't the case, we wouldn't let Google take a picture of those area. It would be very quiet and nobody would know that, especially for America. So definitely was for the message. And also, of course he has said that many times that listen, I want to have the peace deal, I want to have nuclear deal, but if you don't, it's going to be bombing. The second time that I think with NBC, he had the interview on the phone, listen, in the parenthesis, Trump should stop having interview, because the problem with the Trump is he enjoys talking, but he talks too much sometimes if they keep asking. Those people cannot care about Trump, cannot care less about Trump or the MAGA movement or America or anything. All they want is the click. So they have to ask some repetitive question, some ridiculous question over and over, so to get something out of Trump. And Trump doesn't want to be boring because his style is to be entertaining. So every time that he gets asked the same question, he wants to give the answer, but also have the variety. I mean, I'm like that as well. If you ask me the same question over and over, in order for me to be entertaining, naturally, instinctively, I try to be productive and then answer it in different way. Still, I'm giving you the same answer, but just using different sentences or different tone. So it doesn't mean necessarily since yesterday, Trump has changed his tone or his mind. But just because last time he said, I love to have the deal, I hope to have the deal, but if not, it's going to be bad. But this time he said, I want to have the deal, but if we don't, it's going to be bombing like Iran has never seen that. So everybody sees that, oh, the tone has changed, but actually it hasn't changed, because he has answered the same question over and over 100 times in last 2 weeks. So next time he wants to formulate in different sentences. So we want to say something new, something, even though the answer is the same, but he wants to say it in different way to not make it boring, because it's his style, it's my style as well. So that's why he said, they have never seen that. But from outside you say, whoa, his tone has changed, because you want to just have the clickbait, you want to have something, some title for your news, for your article. right? So he said, oh, something that we have never seen is escalated. No, he meant exactly what yesterday he meant. But yesterday he used all those words for yesterday interview. If you ask the same question again today, he has to use different words, even though it means the same thing. He didn't change his tone. It seems like it because people keep asking the same question. Trump has to say, enough of asking the same question. If you asked one question, I answer it. I don't want to hear that question again till next, I don't know, 72 hours, like 1 week or 2 weeks. What do you expect me to do? I gave the Iran Islamic Republic, I sent them the letter and I gave them 2 months deadline. Right? I say you have 2 months to think about that. You're gonna have the peace deal, nuclear deal with me, or we're gonna take it different way, my way or highway. If you're gonna take the deal with me, or we're gonna go south, right? So now 2 months they have the time to think about that. While they're thinking about that, again they ask what happened. They haven't answered that. What do you expect me? I gave them 2 months to think about that, and they are thinking about that, and now I'm waiting. And you say what happened? Well, I mean, if next hour you ask the same question again, my answer is not going to be different. My answer is not going to be different until they come to the table and have the deal with me, or they decide that to have the war with me. What do you expect? But because that's why I think Trump should have the less interview, because he keeps talking about the same issues, but he wants to be entertaining, so he changes his word. People think, oh, something happened, something escalated. That's inside the parenthesis. But yeah, so he said, oh, it's going to be bombing like you have never seen that. Iran has never seen that. Okay. And then that was Eid al-Fitr. We Muslims celebrate after new day of the new month, Shawwal month. When Ramadan is done, in Ramadan we will fast for 1 month. When the month is over, the very first day, next day of the month, the very first day of the next month, we celebrate that. It's called Eid al-Fitr. So we don't need to fast. We can eat like right now during the day, right? Or eat or drink. And so in Eid al-Fitr, always he goes, everyone prays together and he talks. So this time when he was talking, he divided to two sections. First section, he was talking about, everything was good. Like we are blessed to fast. Thank God gave us one other time. The typical thing we Muslims, thank God for let us to be worthy enough to fast for him. But the second part, he started to talk about those basically threats, and he said that because my mother language is Persian, so I hear him, I listen to his interview, his conversation online. So like exactly word by word I'm translating from my mother language Persian to English. He said that it's very unlikely. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think we're gonna get attacked from outside. It means United States and Israel they're not gonna attack our bases. But if they do, we're going to respond. But still, the chance is very low. He said, but what is likely to happen is they try to start the movement, the protest, I don't know, something like probably Women Life Freedom or something that happens. He said those type of protests, it's going to be, again, happen. And if it happens, people, like he means his own audience, his own fans, those people who are loyal to the government, the regime, they're going to respond back. Well, because in Women Life Freedom was between protesters and government, right? And eventually people who were fan of the government, they're just online, they were just saying, oh, this is wrong, stop, going back to your home. That it wasn't like confrontation between fans. Like, for example, it wasn't between MAGA movement and Black Lives Matter movement. It was Black Lives Matter and government, right? But this time he said that my loyalists, my people are going to respond back. So it means you don't need to even face the government. So actually, I don't know exactly what's going to happen if he wants to let his fans, his loyals, those who are fan of the regime, they're going to face the protester. But he said they're going to prop up a movement, a protest in Iran. So he's not worried about the external threat like United States or Israel bombing them, but he is concerned about internal threat, which is prepped up or made up by, or actually boosted by Israel or America. So he said when it happens, people of Iran gonna respond to them. So it means exactly they are ready. Because for 1 year we have been saying, even protesters, those people who are they want to change the regime outside of Iran, all they are saying is this is their plan. The layout is Israel and America bomb those nuclear facilities and military bases, and then Iran gets weakened and people go to a street and start protesting, so overthrown regime, which is, to be honest, it's a very dumb idea, because they say, well, then if America and Israel attack those bases, then Iran would be so weak, so we could change the regime faster. Well, it's very dumb, and the reason is because, well, think about that. In last protest, every protest that protesters that were in the street against the regime, the government didn't use the military, didn't bring the tanks into the street, or didn't use the nuclear facility or nuclear bomb, didn't nuke their people. So it doesn't matter if they bomb the nuclear facility or military bases. They never use those whatever it is inside there against their people. So them being bombed or not wouldn't matter. But what will happen, actually, it's going to have negative effect, because when they get bombed, when they get attacked, they get into the defense mode, they get back to their shells. So now they are more careful about nothing happen. If actually America doesn't attack, but something happens in Iran, the chance that regime would be overthrown is higher, because regimes get surprised. But if you are already getting attacked from outside of country and people start to protest, you are already ready to put them down, right? So I think it's very stupid to think, or if they attack their military bases, they never use a tank. So right now you are worried about them having tank or not, them having nuclear bomb or not. So it wouldn't change. But what would change is like make them even more, be more careful, be in more defense mode, be into our shell. Actually, it makes it harder. So I never understood the analogy, the defense. I think people in Iran, mostly they are looking for something, some news happen. I mean, in my opinion, first they thought Israel or America would change the regime in Iran for them. But then they realized that it's not going to happen, because Trump said that I have no interest in changing the regime in Iran. We already have so many problems in here, which is true. America has so much problem. We cannot afford another regime change in any other country. Not that we have done that before. Can you believe that? Right? But I mean, he already said that this is not what we want, right? And even I think Netanyahu, sometimes he said, like, it's not like we want to regime change. I mean, he has changed his voice recently, but before he was saying, I just don't want them to have bomb. But right now he keeps sending love letter to the people, talking in front of camera, say, oh, we are the bestie together, and one day you would change the regime. So he's already warming up people to get ready to go to the streets. This is at least this is what I interpret when I see every time he has a message for people in Iran. But anyway, so now the problem is right now people in Iran, they are waiting for something happen. But I don't think necessarily if their bases, nuclear facilities get bombed, they're gonna get weaker in front of their people, because there is nothing over there that they used against their people, the protesters, that right now if they get bombed, they don't have it to use it against people anymore. And actually it's going to be different, because those people who were loyalists to the regime in previous protests, because it was only between people of Iran against the regime in Iran, like, you know, like they felt like it is internal threat, so they didn't take it seriously. But if right now those loyalists, they realize that, oh, Iran regime going to change, really, because they are attacking, this combination of attacking from outside and inside together at the same time, they go into defense mode, and you would see even those people of Iran that they are fan of the regime would even come out this time. Before, we never saw that. It was mostly between those people who had, you know, they were working directly, officially or unofficially, with the, you know, with uniform or without uniform for the government. But this time you would see volunteers probably gonna go to a street to defend the regime. So actually, I don't think it's gonna, if the protesters, this is their logic, that if it happens, the regime gonna get weaker. Maybe it's gonna get weaker against external threat, but against internal threat, actually it's gonna be more immune, because now it's gonna be more careful. That's my take on that. If Iran wanted, the thing is BS. The Telegraph said that definitely Iran sent that message to Telegraph, so let them know. It was just a message to message. So Trump bring a B-2 bomber, B-2 stealth bomber to send a message, and Iran leaked the how do you say, leak the conversation, internal conversation between IRGC leaders to say, oh, we were thinking about bombing them, but we didn't. Bro, if Iran wanted to bomb them, Telegram wouldn't have known that at all, by no chance. And if United States wanted to use that Garcia bases, before that I didn't know that even that base existed. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't know at that time either, because if they didn't want anybody to know, by now nobody would even talk about that. They would keep it secret. But the reason that you see the news right now is spreading out, is into public, because they want it to be public, except the signal messages. The signal messages, I mean, it's very tricky. Some people, they say it was hacked, and some people, they say, well, because the previous administration, they had the signal installed into the PC, and there were a couple of the contacts already saved there, so he didn't check it. And whenever he was adding his people, Mike Waltz, he added the guy from the Atlantic, Jeffrey something, at Atlantic by mistake, right? Whatever it was inside job, it was sabotage, whatever. I already had the video reacting to it. Whatever it was behind that, you know, like that one was kind of like like it wasn't like they didn't want to send a message anyone. So you just let a couple of blew building out because the guy was going to his girlfriend's house, and then you flatten the building. I mean, that thing wouldn't make sense. They wanted to leak it on purpose. So unless somebody was doing the sabotage, but other than that, I think anything else that right now we are seeing in news is a message from those governments, either from Israel or even from Iran or America, or all the governments. They want others to know that. Because if they wanted to be secretive, we wouldn't have known that until it was already late. And so that's a message. I believe Trump, I really hope he is reading the room. I really hope he's not only listening to his oligarch donors, the people around him, and he realized that they didn't make him elected. Maybe they spent millions of dollars on Trump campaign, but they had only one vote. But 78 million people voted, not because we go to the war. But basically, entire his campaign in his first term and second term was 2016 and 2024 was like, I'm going to end all the war very soon. But all he did was just like a pause for 1 month with the force to have the Israel and Hamas have the peace deal, because to make people happy that I did what I promised. And that's it. And again, going back to the war. So far, we haven't seen anything. I mean, after 90 days, I mean, still it hasn't been 90 days. 90 days past his administration, I'm going to make the video about everything that he promised about America first, and he did opposite. So we are not only we haven't seen any America first, we have seen America last policies. Couple of the stuff that Trump is doing is not only not America first, is literally America last. And people say trust the plan, bro. It is his second term, and we don't have that much time. And with the direction that we are going, definitely we're gonna lose the House in the midterm. We Republicans gonna lose the House for sure. Like there is no way that we're gonna keep the House in the midterm. So we're gonna lose the House. So we don't have even 4 years. We have 15 months, 16 months. So all we can do is right now, we don't have that much time. And even it's not about like trust the plan, it's about what are we doing? What are we doing? Bombing Yemen was none of his campaign slogan. Going at war with Iran, bombing their nuclear facility was never any of them. And he says, okay, his art of deal is negotiation, bro. Negotiation, it was as a joke, now it is getting serious. Because the thing is, maybe Trump is joking. Netanyahu is not. Trump is saying, oh, I used that to threat them, so I get what I want. It was part of the bargaining negotiation. You know, I was moving the pounds. You know, as long as, for example, there is no rocket launched, there is no base of military base bombed, it's peace, right? Then doesn't matter if you have 5 B-2 stealth bomber in the Diego Garcia bases or in Colorado bases. Doesn't matter where it is. As long as we are not bombing, we are in the peace, right? So he says, well, I just moved a couple of my jets to send a message, and that message worked, so they came to the table. That is good. I understand that part. Understand, sometimes you have to scare your opponent to get more points or get more privilege, more advantage. But what I cannot understand is, like, because they say war start not by accurate calculation but by miscalculation. I think we are so close to have one of those miscalculations. That is what scares me, scared the shit out of me. I really feel like we're really going at war, aren't we? Like, before, like 3 weeks ago, I said everything Trump is saying is to just make Iran come to the table. And Iran already wanted to come to the table. It is for just getting more as much as he could, right? Now it's not the case. This is what I thought. I thought it's all about, listen, I'm playing game. I know that Iran has to make a deal with me, so I'm gonna threaten them more. So by threatening them more, I can get more points. I can get more things that I want, more condition, you know. But now I'm a little afraid. Up to 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I was feeling like, bro, it's just part of he's making deal, you know, it's part of the deal. To just a little playing around. Like, to be honest, it doesn't matter where our B-2 bombers are. In Qatar or in Diego Garcia base or in Iraq or even back in America, in Nevada, it doesn't matter. Right? If you can move them and scare them so they would say more yes to you, more yes to your conditions, then why not? Move all of the planes. More is just moving, you know, who cares? But I think even though Trump doesn't want to have war, Iran doesn't want to have war, because Iran cannot afford another war. Bro, their economy is crashing. They cannot pay for their retirement plan, the insurance for the people who are like, the economy is collapsing over there. And people don't like the regime over there that much anymore. Only loyalists, only ultra loyalists, even they are not happy. And there is no hope, because Pezeshkian, the reformist president, one of his slogans in his campaign to be president after the helicopter crash of Raisi, the previous president of Iran, his entire slogan was, I will go with Iran and talk with them. A nuclear deal, entire slogan. You know what he said a few days ago? He said, I wanted, but Supreme Leader said no, so no. So everybody who had a little hope something would change for better and voted for him because he was reformist, now they don't have hope either. So even the last group of people, so many people lost their hope. They said nothing gonna change in this regime. We have to just change the regime. Only few people that they were left, that they were saying still there's a chance we could fix things. Even they don't have it anymore, because Pezeshkian said, hey, I told you, I promised you, and I wanted. Supreme Leader said no, so no. That's it. He's not going to talk over the Supreme Leader. So there is no hope for even most optimistic people that voted for Pezeshkian anymore in Iran. Government is collapsing. There is no hope. And plus, they are saying even if the regime stay in the power, all these proxy groups, you know, Houthis, Hashd al-Shaabi, Hamas, Hezbollah, all these proxies, that they are attacked and they are destroyed almost, right? So again, even if we could sell the oil, regime want to change it to repair them, to again rebuild all those proxies that he built. So, you know, he spent billions of dollars to build them up, and Israel destroyed them. Now again, I know that every more money that they have to re-strengthen the proxies, again, it's not going to be spent on the people. So it's not like, oh, Iran got their lesson, so now that all the proxies are destroyed, now they realize that, oh, maybe that was a good idea. Maybe I have to spend the money that we make from selling oils to our own people. No. They want to sell more oils so they could rebuild all those proxies that they are destroyed right now. So people are not in the table. They're not going to spend any money on the people in Iran. I mean, at least when I'm seeing the thing, it's not like people give us a second chance. Definitely this time we got one. It's like, this is what it is. Nothing going to change. So the ideology is not going to change. Some people, they say it's going to change, but at least as long as Khamenei is in power, it's not going to, because he makes the final call. So, I mean, it's kind of like sad. Plus, especially with anti-Semitism law right now I came to America and I was bragging about the freedom of speech that we have in here. I was saying like in no country, other country we have freedom of speech, but now they are calling it anti-Semitism law. Like anything that you say that criticize beloved Israel is part of that, and we want to revoke your visa even if you are a Greek and even if you are a citizen. Bro. And then you say that's fine. I totally understand. Nobody should be harmed or threatened because of their beliefs. Like I totally understand. I'm with you. I am against anti-Semitism. Nobody should be threatened for what they are saying. And when you go say, okay, what is definition of it? For example, if somebody says some slur or something against the Jews, like for being the Jew, that's wrong. That's evil. I totally understand. Because I'm Muslim. If somebody says something about Muslim or says Islamophobia, right? Rules should be applied for everybody. Nobody should be targeted because of their race, their skin, their religion, their gender, anything. It's a free country. That's why I'm proud of being American, because I say everyone's right is protected, regardless of your religion. Nobody's, even most minority people's right is protected under this law, constitution. So if somebody is threatening someone or harassing or harming or insulting because they're Jew, yeah, of course. And not only Jew, Muslim, Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, all of them. When you say, okay, what is the definition? They say, they don't say it. And then when you criticize the government, a foreign nation, they come and say anti-Semitism. Listen, in Iran, exactly same thing happens. No matter what you say, if they don't like what you are saying, if they don't like hearing what you're saying is problematic for them, it's threatening the regime, you know what they do? They label you as anti-Islam, enemy of Islam. They cannot say enemy of me because they say, who are you? Okay, I'm enemy of you. Who are you? They say, no, it's not about me. It's about Islam. You're anti-Islam. So they are persecuting their opponents, their people who are criticizing them with the name of, we are defending Islam, you are anti-Islam. The same thing is happening in here. I'm not saying that is wrong. If somebody has problem with Iran regime, should say that. You cannot stick to the Islam, say anything that you say against me is against Islam. So if you don't want to be persecuted by being enemy of Islam, so you cannot say anything about, no, you don't have anything to do with Islam. You are the regime, the government. You have to be responsive. That's a religion. That has nothing to do. They stick themselves to the religion. They say, criticizing us, criticizing Islam, insulting us, insulting Islam. So if you insult us, you insult the religion, so you cannot. Right now with anti-Semitism, like, same thing happened. Anything that you say against Israel, it means you're anti-Semitic. Is it freedom of speech that President Trump was campaigning about for 2 years? Or when I come back, I'm going to restore freedom of speech, everybody can talk. So basically what the hard lesson that we are learning, it's not about freedom of speech. It's about who are you talking against. You remember like 3 years ago, if you said anything against trans people, transgender people, oh my God. You would be deplatformed, you would be cancelled, you would be attacked, you would lose your job, blah, 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 blah. Now you can't say anything, but that time you could criticize foreign nations. But now, opposite. Now you are free to talk about the, trans athlete, trans woman competing in the competition in sport with a woman, biological woman, it is fair or not. Now you are free to have those type of conversation, to say, oh, it is not fair if you have too much testosterone, biologically you are male, you identify as a female, and you go fight against those people who are biologically female. And and then you say, well, it is not fair, you have too much advantages over there, so we won't let it happen, right? Now you can't talk about that freely. Now you cannot criticize the foreign nation, bro, and they're putting on the law, bro. Come on. Freedom of speech means regardless of what you are saying, as long as you are not advocating for violence, it's fair. You can say that. You say, well, it makes me uncomfortable. It's part of freedom of speech to make you uncomfortable. You know, I'm proud Muslim, but some people say, well, bro, your Islam is problematic, it's causing violence. I disagree. And I say, okay, what made you think like that? I said, because I see so many examples of so many of these fake asylum seekers in the Europe that are doing crime, and their name is Ahmad, Siddiq, Masoud, Muhammad, Baba, Mahmoud, like this. These are Islamic names. So all these criminals, they have Islamic names, so it means Islam is real. You know, I would say, okay, so how about those people who are coming from Africa? They are Christian. What about them? So if it is Christian, you go after their race. If they are Muslim, you go after their religion. If we are bringing religion, if from any other countries, Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, Jew, they do the crime, we have to look at everyone's background and religion part. But if you are seeing the race, you have to see everyone's race. So pick one. When you see the person is Muslim, you say, oh, this Muslim. But if you see that person is not Muslim, is Christian, you go after the race. So it is not fair. Which one is it? Because if you go at religion, you say, oh, these Muslims are very violent, these Christians are very violent too. But your argument is going to collapse by itself. Because you are saying Christianity is religion of peace, Islam is not. For example, that's what you're saying, right? In that case, it's going to be a problem. Because now you cannot say you're saying something against your own religion. So be fair. You know, I don't need to be mad. You see how calmly I explain and talk about that? Just don't be disrespectful. Just like in here, if somebody doesn't disrespect Jews for their religion, for practicing their religion, they say, hey, just what you are doing, I'm not happy about that. That's wrong. What is that about that you find it has to be suppressed? And I remember Republicans, conservatives, for 4 years, they were saying hate speech is free speech. What happened to that? So now I'm getting to the point that there is no free speech. It's about just who is in power, what it's okay for them to be criticized, what is not. What is their priority? Priorities for Republicans, for example, is Israel. Priority for Democrats is trans people. Is transphobia is not included in freedom of speech, but criticizing Israelis. And now in here, criticizing trans people, it is part of free speech. And now opposite the criticizing Israelis. Bro, we have to have only one of them. If it is not free speech, shouldn't be free speech for anybody. If it is free speech, should be for everybody also. None or for none or for all. So I don't know, man, because this is getting us to the bad direction. And as a person who voted for President Trump, as a nationalist, I have nationalistic ideology. I believe in nationalism. What we are doing is not nationalistic ideology. It's not nationalistic policy. Policies that we are taking is not taking us to the direction that we have a vision. We nationalist people, we have the vision. Great America, make America great again. It means make what great again? Not world, but America. We are not doing anything. Why isn't Doge going after CDC, Pfizer, all those companies that they are involved with the government, are getting money funded, they are getting funded by government? Why don't we go after them? Why should Americans suffer for not having enough money to pay their insurance or when they have surgery? If we have so much money to bomb children in Gaza, we can use those money to help children in America. No American should die by poverty. No American should die by illness, sickness. And no American should not have the education. These three rights for as a nationalist should be already taken care of. You will never die by illness, sickness. If you have money, good. If you don't, the city got you. Maybe you put on your credit so later you can come back, but with low interest, so you won't be bankrupt for the rest of your life. Education and food. Nobody should be dying for, but with this money that we are spending on Ukraine and Israel, if we spend on our education right now, everyone would be genius. We are all having, like, Department of Education is going to be shut down. Okay, good. But what is a replacement? Giving the money back to the state is good. But as long as our teachers in public school, they are making $40,000 per hour, they couldn't give a shit about their students. Why would they? Because $40,000 is not enough. They have to get a second job, so they don't have time to listen to those crap from the kids. And for kids, when they realize that there is no future, there is no honor in their nationality, in their flag, they don't feel they don't belong to anybody. Why would they even care to have the better future for the country? That spirit, American spirit, is gone. Where can we restore American spirit? Inside the school, when they are kids, when we can shape their mind for good. Educate them for good. Love your country, love your neighbor, and the country is going to take care of you, give you job, give you healthcare, give you education, give la 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 la. And then when you get somewhere, give it back. Just, you know, like Elon Musk, he says everything that I have is because of America. Now I am paying a price to save the America. Look, something like that. But we are not seeing any of them. We are just finding, oh, so much waste and fraud. Bro, the real waste and fraud is in military and in pharmaceutical company. If you take care of these two places, it's over. You don't need to even look at others, because no matter how much waste and fraud you can find in other departments, these two are bigger than all of them combined. We have seen, and then endorsing Lindsey Graham and attacking Thomas Massey. I mean, in one other videos, I will talk about that exactly after 90 days. To show that we haven't seen any America First policy. I don't know what we are doing over there. I really don't know. What's our plan? If you are going to get Greenland and Canada, go get them. You keep letting them sleep, and eventually, forever, they're going to be immune from your tariffs. We have to go get them. We have to go get them right now. It's hard, it's bad, but it's going to be done fast. You're entertaining this idea for 2 years, and then we're going to lose the house. It's over. We're not going to have that anymore. And I'm saying right now, we have the Supreme Court, we have the House, we have the House of Representatives, we have the Senate, we have the White House, we have everything. And also we have the most popularity, because he won the popular vote as well. Right now, anything he decides happens immediately. Anything. He has the people's support, he has the Congress, he has the Senate, and he has the Supreme Court. What is he doing? We voted for mass deportation. But there is no mass deportation. There is no. It's just after 2 months, you put one time 300 and one time 17, what was that? The B3, B12, 13 gang members, Mexican, El Salvadorian, Venezuelan members. What was that? V30, B13, something. That's it. That's all you've got. And he said revoking legal residents who are criticizing a foreign nation, because they said they have low resources, as far as I know. I don't know if it is true or not. They couldn't go after mass deportation, so they had to use it on the campuses. Seriously? We voted for you to go after people what they are criticizing in campus, or after illegal immigrants who have criminal record? None of them. We voted for mass deportation, we are getting none of them. Is it America First? Am I supposed to say, well, as long as we are doing it, it's okay. If Biden does it, it's not okay. It's continues of Biden administration. You know, the Biden put the MAGA hat on his head. Basically, that's a Trump administration right now. It's just Biden administration with the MAGA hat. And everyone was against war, pro-peace. And now everyone is a warmonger, is hawkish. Republican now. Yeah, let's go bomb, yeah. And the funny thing about the Houthis, about the Yemen, for the same reason that Biden was attacking Yemen and Trump was criticizing him, he said, why do you keep bombing them? Just pick up the phone and talk to them. For the same reason, he's attacking same group of people. And now people are cheering. Exactly, same group of people for the same reason. Biden did, Trump said that's bad, everyone said, oh, that's bad, and now Trump is doing it's good. I shouldn't be afraid of my right to criticize the government, for the which government that I voted for. You know how many friends that I lost because of supporting Trump? And still I'm supporting him. I know that deep down he loves this country. All I'm saying, President, listen to your people, read the room. It's not the direction we wanted to go. Like, it's still, everything is expensive. You have the power right now, make everything cheap. I wanted to have everything cheap, and in my lifetime, see the first man on the Mars. Instead of being sent to the Mars, we are being sent to the Middle East, back to the Middle East, again go to the endless war. So there are many people that are not happy, Trump supporter, but they're not talking about that. I'm talking, the reason is because I was blaming on Democrats when they saw something that Biden was doing against what he promised. They were quiet because they were saying, like, oh, I cannot criticize my own party. I said that's wrong. If you really care about your ideology, your country, or whatever you're believing in, then it shouldn't matter if political opponent or the candidate that you voted for is doing that. Whoever does that gets criticized. And if they are doing something that you like, either it is your opponent or the person that you like, you have to enjoy it. Like, for example, Democrats, even if Trump does everything that Democrats want, still they want to blame him. No matter what Trump derangement syndrome, no matter what you do, I'm against that. Even if it is something that I was cheering for. Now we have the opposite. Like, we are worshipping this administration. Everything they do, it is right. No, none of them. Not everything that Trump does is wrong because you hate Trump. Not everything that he does is okay because you are Trump supporter. I'm Trump supporter because I believe Trump would do the best for America. Now I'm not seeing any improvement in quality of life of any single American, especially the middle class. And right now he has the momentum, so he has to do that. Because let's say for 4 or 5 months, same thing, we are exactly the same. Like, let's assume we are not going at war with Iran. Hopefully we are not going. Let's say for 5 months we are in this situation. Market is crashing, everything is expensive, we are in middle of the war, bombing people in Middle East, and let's say we are talking back and forth, tariffs, yes, no, maybe no, and then the market is uncertain, everything. After 5 months, people are going to lose their interest. They say, bro, I was so hyped that you could make some differences. It is just the second term of Biden administration, just with the MAGA hat on top of the head. That's the only difference. Then if you're going to do something, both people are not going to support that anymore. You know, like, for example, like, let's say Elon Musk is saying Doge. But if they go and see like they are paying so much taxes, or they are going to the hospital, and if still they don't know how much they are paying for the hospital, it is expensive, they say, wait, so Elon Musk exactly for the Doge, he went to find a waste and fraud so he could get himself a tax credit, like, I don't know, like tax cut or something for the billionaires. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying people say, well, you are showing me the fraud, but nobody is arrested. You are showing me the fraud, but nothing is safe. I have to see the result. I won't get fooled by just seeing a couple of numbers on the screen. Oh, this is how much waste it was. This is how much we saved. Okay, so it means I'm going to pay less for the grocery. It means I'm going to pay less for the gas. It means I'm going to pay less for the education, or pay less for my taxes, or for my insurance, for something. Nothing has changed. We just find numbers. People have to see those numbers change, those those fraud and waste found in their, they have to see the differences, the improvement in their life, to say, oh, this is because we found those waste and fraud. We are not seeing any indication that soon we're going to see some differences. Imagine, we found all the waste and fraud, and all of them went to be tax cut for the billionaires. People say, so you got the money from those children, poor children from Somalia, from other countries that were getting help from us to give it to the billionaire. I mean, forget about the kids, forget about USAID, forget all of them. But what me in here? You were saying I had to be hyped about the Doge that has no effect on my life? Eventually, when people see that the gas, the eggs, all those prices are hot, they start to say, why am I hyped again? Why should I cheer that again? What is matter? What would it change in me? Then if you want to do some radical move to improve the government, it's not going to happen. Still, we haven't seen Epstein files, Epstein client. It was supposed to be released first day. Still, it hasn't happened. All we got is just suppression of freedom of speech. Something that even Biden didn't do that in that extent, to that degree. I hope President Trump changed his mind. I'm hoping. I voted for him. I was so excited to be part of this changing the history of America for better. Oh my God, that's disappointing so far. It has been disappointing. I hope he changes his mind. And if you like and subscribe and comment, it will give me more motivation to keep going. I'm doing it because I believe in America and I love to express my opinion. And it would be very nice if you guys, if you watch it till now and like and subscribe. And I keep talking, I try to be fair, because as a Muslim, I have to be fair. I shouldn't be biased about anybody, even to my own party, to my group, to my own religion, anything. It should be fair, should be just. I hope you enjoyed my take, and then let me know what you think. And like always, as above, so below. Bye.